This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 4th, 2019. SPY up 2.16% there, Qs up 2.8%. Okay, market just closed here. Going into today, we said over the high from Friday, we will be moving away from our bearish bias, and then on any kind of setup, we can be bullish. So that's going to be the case going into tomorrow, that on any kind of sell-off or any kind of consolidation, look for it to be a buying opportunity. Okay, so that is going to be our expectation going into tomorrow. Qs, same thing. Okay, what I would like to see specifically on the Qs, just because it was showing a little bit more weakness than the SPY yesterday, is that we get that sell-off and then recover from it. So that would essentially give us a sell setup failure. That would be additional confirmation. And especially if we wait here and say we trigger the sell setup, we base out sideways, and then we fail on it going into next week, it will be pretty good time frame alignment across the board on the hourly, the daily, and the weekly, and the monthly. That everything will look bullish. So really what I'm looking for, and it may sound a bit counterintuitive, what I'm looking for to prove the bullishness that can continue is to see a sell-off. Okay? Is to see what the kind of resistance is here, what kind of follow through that resistance can give us, and then continuation higher. Okay, so if we kind of base out, we don't get the sell-off, that's still bullish. But what I would like to see is us come in first and then see how far that goes, see exactly what kind of selling pressure there is, and then the negation of that selling pressure is pretty much green light across the board here. So it doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to run straight up in the next few days, right? We are probably going to do some basing, some back and forth, but the longer term bias will be pretty clear here. Okay, something I wanted to bring to your attention, just for kind of future reference, if you hadn't kind of put the two together, is that when we topped out, we had this day here where it seemed like all out bullish, right? If you were trading on this day, the market just went higher all day. And then what happened? We gapped down and we cleared most of that. And that really set the sell-off in motion, right? From there, we got lower lows, right? How many days in a row? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including this bar, right? And then that really got us continuing this downtrend here, right? And if you recall, as we got into the 175 area, which we said was going to be a support area, I said expect the bars to get big again, because we're going to probably put in the bottom and it's going to be similar into the way that we put the top, right? We were getting these narrow range days, narrow bars, right? And these are not usually the way that tops and bottoms get set. Okay, they're going to top out like the way that we topped out earlier in May. Okay, and then what did we get? Wide range bar, all selling yesterday, and then today, wide range bar the other way, right? Same thing on the SPY. SPY bar not as big as the Qs. Qs a little bit more indicative of putting in a bottom, but SPY we did get the wide range green bar here. So that's going to be in contrast to something like this, right? These narrow bars, and then we try to come in from there, less likely to follow through and that be the top. Okay, so same thing on the Qs here, right? Tight bars, try to break down from there, right? That's usually not going to be what puts in the top or bottom. That usually, look at this grind here, small bars, that's continuation. And then, right, we see the conflict, the increase in volatility, the increase of the back and forth, okay, on the Qs and SPY. Okay, so I think really important day today and yesterday that you were on top of the market here, because especially if you were trading today, there weren't really a lot of good short opportunities. And especially follow through was primarily to the upside, right? So if you played the APPS here into the afternoon, that was very, very nice. We were looking at it even since before lunch, took forever, and then finally broke out, okay? And so, there was a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I did not catch, like the GM. So there was a lot of opportunities, I think, to the upside. GM, the ACB was very, very impressive. Nice run up on the ACB. A lot of very, very nice uptrends today. But if you weren't prepared with a good market bias, I think there were also a lot of things that looked lower, but just could not shed the market strength and really do their own thing. So into these days, like where we don't have a lot of earnings, there's not a lot of big individual news on individual names, the market is that much more important to get right. Okay, so to recap here for tomorrow, going into tomorrow, we are bullish on the Qs and SPY. So sell-offs should be buyable opportunities. Okay, going into tomorrow, if we consolidate, that's also going to be okay to play the breakout. And like I said, I'd much prefer to see us sell off. We don't have to sell off all day tomorrow. We don't have to sell off all morning, but I'd like to see some indication of resistance of selling occur, and then see how far that gets, right? Before demand takes control again. Okay, so that also is in line with the expectation that any kind of sell-offs tomorrow should be buyable opportunities for the longer term. So going into tomorrow, going to be bullish on the short term. Qs are a little bit more neutral here because they are into resistance, but SPY is cleared now, so SPY bullish. So on the short term, bullish to neutral. On the long term, we're going to go back to bullish now. Okay, we were neutral. We're looking like we are putting in this weekly buy setup, monthly buy setup, so we can switch back to bullish on the longer time, neutral to bullish on the shorter time. Qs just had a little bit more to deal with than the SPY does. Okay, so SPY is a little bit more bullish than the Qs right now. All right, so that's gonna do it for today. We'll see what we get tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to also tomorrow if we get more of a narrow range day, because today was a wide range bar. Okay, so we did get a wide range bar, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get an inside bar. We are calling for neutral to bullish tomorrow, so that's obviously not out of the question or against our bias here. Okay, hope you did well today. I think if you got something long early and stuck with it, you might have had a big day even into the afternoon. There were some good opportunities still to get aboard something strong. We saw a lot of things basing at the highs, breaking out, HAS, GM, ACB, all these things staying very, very strong here. But the key thing was getting the market right. Okay, so hope you did well today. If not, we'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll see what the market brings us, and I will talk to you then. All right, have a good evening.